Everyone's talking about how branded Despia, specifically branded, are way too expensive when it comes to ultra rares. But are you forgetting something?
It's an engine.
Let's talk about Branded Despia. Branded Despia is currently on the line to become one of the best decks in Master Duel, and you're gonna need to play like 8 ultra rares to make the engine itself playable. But that's also something you need to consider. That it's an engine that can take up half an entire deck, which means you can do a lot of things with Branded. In fact, you could play at least 5 different decks at the same time with this engine having only invested into 8 ultra rares. And thinking about it in that sort of context makes it a much more worthwhile investment than you might think initially when in the context of simply just playing one deck. I don't think you've seen a more base deck in existence. Mutant Branded is a deck that's now pretty much playable because of the Branded engine alone. I mean, Mutant did struggle a little bit because it had to play a lot of traps and it didn't have much gas. However, when it comes to Branded, it helped solve a lot of problems with fusion decks, specifically with how stupid broken the fact that you can fuse from deck with both materials is. So adding Mirror Jade, adding all that stuff, and basically filling half your deck up with Branded cards and half your deck with Mutant cards means that, well, this gets pretty damn spicy. However, if your deck doesn't have that much combo potential and sometimes can just pass and not do anything, then you could play Branded in something like Springins, because, well, sometimes you just can't do anything with Springins. Maybe you can summon a monster or two, but you can realistically sometimes not be able to summon your XC's rank 4. So at this point then, you could just slap in a Branded engine, specifically a Branded engine consisting of like half your deck, to give it the much needed support in terms of power as much as possible. Additionally, because you're going to be running Sprint the Iron Dash Dragon, you can actually play a lot more copies of it than you'd normally do, and you could even fit in some rank 8s if you'd want, but because of the Branded engine's restrictions to fusions, I've kept the number of XC's limited to just the Springin stuff. However, if running that many Branded cards isn't really your speed, then you might want to consider this kind of deck instead. Tri-Brigade Branded, because of one of the new cards that you might or might not play in some decks, like Tri-Brigade Mercurier, which is an ultra rare, sadly, you can actually play this engine in place of DPE in Tri-Brigade decks, and it's genuinely pretty threatening. I mean, you should probably try and experience what it can do with those boards, but I mean, you can already summon the damn thing off of Verte anyways, which I forgot to put in this deck list, but you get the point. It's pretty damn neat. And well, I mean, that's pretty much it for me right now. I presented you a basically optimized version of Branded Despia, and 3 other decks you could try out if you really want to start experimenting with what the Branded engine can do. But my point is, the investment into the Branded engine isn't as expensive as you think in the context of playing tons of other pretty viable rogue decks, if not competitively viable, like the Tri-Brigade Branded list. However, we've run into a little bit of a problem, my friends. You might not know how to play the deck. Because, I mean, while I can show you how you can get the most out of your investment's worth with the Branded engine, and why you should play it, how do you even play it in the first place? Well, my friends, I have a solution for you. If you go ahead and click one of the video links in the screen right now, it'll take you to a guide on basically how to play the Branded engine in its most bare-bone components. It's going to go over a smaller version of the Branded engine that you see in the Tri-Brigade list, as well as a larger version that you see both in Branded Despia, as well as the other Branded decks like Branded Mutants or Branded Springins that I showed off. Anyways, I hope this helps. Catch you later. Peace.